Hello, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining me today. For those of you that haven't met me before, my name is Tess, and I'll be just taking you through a few nice yoga poses today just to help you relax and let go of some tension and just feel really good afterwards. So we're going to start seated today. We're going to sit cross-legged. I'll be doing a mirror image to you for this short sequence of poses, just so that you're aware. So as we cross the legs, we're going to take the right leg in front of the left. And quite often when you sit, you'll just cross your ankles, and that's quite comfortable, which is fine. But for the purpose of this practice, if you'd like to just bring your knees a little bit closer towards each other, so you're crossing your shins and not the ankles. And then flex the heels, so the heels push out. And then we'll just take our hands to the floor either side of the hips. And with your fingertips, kind of press down as you lengthen your upper body. So we're going to start with a short sequence of seated forward bends, sideways, shoulders, hips. So let's take an inhale together. And as we exhale, you start to fold your upper body forwards over your thighs. And you'll come to a point where you meet some resistance in your hips and in your lower back. And you can stay here. This is absolutely fine. If any of you have a little bit more kind of range of movement here, you can take your hands in front of your shins. And then any amount, walk your hands forward just until you feel that resistance across the outer hip here on both sides. Possibly lower back, but that's fine. And then you can just drop your head and just try to relax into it for a couple of deep breaths. So we're just looking at kind of loosening up our hips a little bit, letting go of tension in the lower back. And try to take a deep inhale here, and we'll exhale. And then coming back up to sit, we're going to keep our legs exactly as we have them, and turn your upper body towards your left knee. So you're going to take your arms wide, and you'll take your fingertips to the floor. You're going to lengthen the upper body as you inhale, and then as you exhale, you fold forwards over that left knee. And as you fold forwards, just go as far as you can. Try to relax through your upper body. And then this right hand, we're going to slide it along the floor towards the left-hand side of the room, And really ground your right sitting bone down so you can feel this big stretch from your hip through your side waist. Some of you may feel it in your shoulder as well, which is absolutely fine. So you're doing it right. And just relax your neck, drop your head, take a couple of deep breaths here, and just try to let go wherever you're feeling a little bit tight or uncomfortable here. Try one more cycle of breath and exhale. And then we'll come back up to sit. Again, keeping the legs exactly as they are, just for one more of these. Take your left hand to the floor, out to the left, so you feel as though you're leaning. And then turn your upper body towards the right. And then reach the right arm overhead with an inhale. And as you exhale, extend that arm overhead as far as you can. And just feel that deep stretch to the side of your body. And this will go into the ribs, into the shoulder, all the way down the side of the body. So just take a few breaths and try to enjoy this stretch. Good. And at the end of this exhale, we're just going to come back up to sit. And take your hands behind you so you feel that you're leaning back, and straighten your legs out in front of you. And then just lift your chest a little bit, slightly pull your elbows towards each other so you can feel you're stretching across the upper chest and the shoulders. So it's a little bit of a counter pose to what we've just done. And then we'll come back to sit, and we'll cross our legs the other way around. So we'll cross the left shin in front of the right shin. And again, the knees are going to be a bit closer together than is usually comfortable. And then we'll bring the hands back down to the floor. Press down through the fingertips as you lengthen up through the spine. And let's breathe in here. And as we exhale, we'll fold forwards from the hips. And again, just get to that point where there's some resistance. That's all you need to feel. And you can pause here. This is absolutely fine. Or again, if you have a bit more range, take your hands in front of you. And then just any amount, just start to walk forwards. But just go carefully, particularly if you have any kind of historical back problems. Go nice and easy here. And try to relax your neck. Try to start to develop your breathing, if I can say it. And try to lengthen your out breath. We'll inhale again here and exhale. And then as you come back up to sit, keeping the lower body as it is, we'll turn to face the right knee. We'll take the arms out to the sides and we'll breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forwards over that right thigh. Really relax the upper body. And then you can just slide that left hand along the floor towards the right hand side of the room and really relax into this, just reaching those fingertips as far forwards as you can, just so you can feel this down the outer strip of your torso. We'll take one more breath here and we'll exhale. Coming back up to sit here for the last of these, we'll take your right hand out to the right, turn your chest away from that right hand, and as you inhale, lift the left arm overhead, and exhale, extend that left arm until you feel that sideways stretch. And keep grounding through your sitting bones so you feel really level through your hips. And we'll take another breath in here and we'll exhale to sit. We'll lean back into our hands once again. And as you stretch your legs forward, just lift your chest a little bit here, just to stretch those shoulders and pectoral muscles. Good. And then we'll come back to center. And now we're going to make our way onto our hands and our knees. So as we come onto all fours, set yourselves up so you have your hands about shoulder width apart and you have your knees underneath your hips. And we're just going to take a few rounds of cat and cow just to loosen the spine and connect our breath and our movement. So as you come into a neutral position with your spine, let's start with an inhale. And as we breathe in together, drop your tummy down, but lift your gaze and look forwards and upwards. So you feel like you're coming to a little bit of a back bend here. So this is cow pose. And then as we exhale, the opposite actions. We round the spine, really draw your navel in. And as you drop your head, look towards your belly. So we'll do those two movements a handful of times. So let's inhale as you come into a mild back bend, cow pose. And as you exhale, round your spine, come into your cat and relax your neck. Inhale, opening into cow pose. So just accentuating the breath here with the movement. And exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the chin, relaxing the neck. Again, inhale, let's come into our cow pose, nice mild back bend. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, coming into cat. And then just release your spine to a comfortable, neutral position. Take your hands a little bit further forwards. And we're going to tuck our toes under and we're going to breathe in. And as we exhale together, we're going to lift our hips into downward facing dog. And if you find downward dog gets a bit too much for you at any stage, you can always come back down onto your knees instead. So that's always an option. Otherwise, if you're okay here, just a few times, walk your heels up and down, just to start to stretch out your legs. Good. And then from here, we're just going to step our feet towards the front of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to make your way forwards. And take your feet kind of hip width apart so you feel like you're quite comfortable in your stance. And then bend your knees and fold forwards over your thighs. And we're going to bend the arms here and take hold of our elbows and let the arms kind of dangle a little bit. And what you'll feel here is that you get a bit more length through your lower back and the bottom of the ribs at the back of the body here. So allow that lengthening to help you release some tension from your spine. And you can stay here if you prefer, or you can just gently sway the upper body from side to side, just moving in a nice slow pace, just to relax the back of the body as much as possible. Good, and then as you're ready, just come to center, let the arms completely relax. And keeping that relaxation in your body, start to roll your way up to stand. And we'll bring our feet a little bit closer together. And we'll just start to bring in some movements in time with our breathing. And we'll stretch through our hips and our shoulders as well. So let's relax the arms, stand as tall as you can. And then let's inhale together as we lift our arms and look up as our hands touch. And then as we exhale with the arms wide, fold forwards and bring your hands either to the floor or take hold of the front of your ankles. Just relax your neck. And then palms on your shins. And as you inhale, you'll lengthen the spine forwards. You can feel you're really stretching your legs here. And bring your hands to the floor. And as you exhale, step your right foot back and bring your right knee all the way down to the floor. And then as you inhale, lift your arms overhead, coming into this lunge position. And then as you exhale, bring your hands straight back down to the floor. We're going to step back into plank as we breathe in. Drop to the knees if you need to. And then we're all going to bring our knees to the floor. And as we exhale, just gently make your way to lie down onto your front. And then as you breathe in, just going to roll the shoulders back and lift the chest into a little bit of the back bend. Then as we exhale, you can either come onto your hands and your knees, or if it's okay, you can press back into downward facing dog. And then as we hold downward dog, we're just going to breathe in here. And then as we exhale, we're going to step the right foot forwards between the hands. So if it's a little bit too much of a step forwards, you can help that foot through, just encouraging it forwards with the right hand. And then we're going to bring the left knee all the way to the floor. And then as you inhale, reach your arms overhead. And as the arms lift up, feel that you're lunging forwards through your hips. And then as you exhale, place the hands back down on the floor. So now we're going to step forwards. Let's rock back slightly as you inhale to step forwards, hands on the shins. And then as you exhale, forward fold, relax your neck. And taking the arms wide, we'll take a deep inhale as we come up to stand. And then just the arms come down as we breathe out. So we'll do that once again. So let's inhale and reach up. Exhale and fold forwards. As you inhale, place your hands on your shins and lengthen your spine forwards. And then as we breathe out together, hands come back to the floor. And this time we step the left leg back. And we bring the left knee all the way down. And then as you inhale, reach those arms wide and high. Lunge your hips forwards. And then as we breathe out, bring the hands back to the floor. As we breathe in, and step the right foot back into a plank. Bring the knees down, and as you exhale, bend the elbows, come to the floor. And then as you inhale, just lift the chest into a little back bend. And then we're going to make our way back into downward dog, or again, you can just hold on your knees if you need to. And then we'll just take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, we'll bring the left foot forwards. Again, helping it through with the left hand if it's a bit stuck, a bit stubborn. Right knee comes to the floor. And then inhale and reach the arms up. And then exhale, hands to the floor. We're going to step forwards now. So let's breathe in, bring that right foot through. And then as you exhale, just folding forwards over the legs, relax the neck. Then sweep the arms wide as you breathe in to stand up. And then just the arms come down as we exhale. Good. Okay, so from here, if you'd like to kind of turn around and face the length of your mat and take the feet quite a wide stride. So we're going to come into a few standing postures to kind of strengthen the legs, to open the hips. So we're going to start by turning the right foot out to face towards the front edge of the mat and turn the left foot in slightly. So your left foot's in a bit of a diagonal position, and then just bring your hips back to center as much as you can. You'll feel quite a strong stretch through your hip center. And then lift the arms up in line with the shoulders, palms face the floor. And we'll just inhale together here. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee and come into Warrior Two pose. So as we come into Warrior Two, think about reaching your left fingertips slightly back so you feel your chest sit right over your pelvis. And then just reach the arms away from each other, lunging as deeply as you can into that right leg and keeping the left leg nice and strong. Let's inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to straighten the right leg. Let's inhale and bend the right knee again. And then this time we're going to bring the right elbow to the top of the right thigh and lift the left arm overhead to open the side waist. And take a couple of slow deep breaths here just to work into the hips and the side waist. Inhale deeply. And then as we exhale, we'll stand up, release the arms. And then keeping the arms extended, and this time keeping the legs straight. As we inhale, we're going to reach the right hand as far forwards as we can. And then bring your right hand to your shin, or maybe to your thigh, and reach your left arm towards the ceiling. So we're in triangle pose. And just gently lean back with your upper body just a little bit, and you'll feel the difference in the hamstrings and the inner thigh and the front of the hips. And breathe in together here. And as we exhale, just stand up nice and tall. Let's relax the arms down. And then we're going to square off our feet. So we've still got a really wide stride with our feet, but we're going to come into a standing forward bend here. So let's bring our hands to our hips And just kind of relax your knees a little bit so you're not really trying to straighten your legs too much here. Soften the knees. And then keeping all of that, we're just going to lengthen the upper body as we inhale. And then as we exhale together and take a forward bend. You may find as you come forward, you may need to bend your knees a bit more. That's absolutely fine. And then try to take your fingertips to the floor in front of you. If that's not good for you, you can just hold the fronts of the legs. And then fold forwards. As you fold forwards, try to really relax your back muscles as much as possible. And just allow the head to relax, neck just nice and free. Take a few nice deep breaths here. You should be feeling this in the backs of your legs. Take another inhale in this wide-legged forward bend. And exhale. And then we're going to inhale and lift the head and look forwards. Keep those knees really soft. And then just slowly make your way back up to stand. And then just briefly, just step your feet back together. If you need to shake your legs out, that's absolutely fine. And then when we're ready, we're going to do the same set of postures on the left side. So, take the feet nice and wide once again. And this time, as you turn your left toes out, your foot will be facing towards the back edge of your mat. And as you turn your right foot in, it's in a slightly diagonal position again. And then hips come back to center as much as you can. Arms reach out in line with the shoulders. We're going to breathe in together here. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the left leg and sink the hips down and forwards just as much as you can. And then reach your right hand back a little bit, just so you feel as centered through your upper body as possible. And then breathe here. Relax the shoulders. Keep the gaze nice and soft. Take another inhale in Warrior Two. And as you exhale, straighten your left leg. Bend your left knee again as you inhale. And then now as you exhale, left elbow to left thigh. And right arm sweeps overhead to open the side waist again. And just take a couple of slow, deep breaths. Just feeling the stretch in the hips, in the side of the body. Strengthening through the legs. Inhale. And as we exhale, we'll stand up. We'll straighten both of our legs fully. And for triangle pose, keep the legs nice and strong. And reach as far as you can as you inhale with your left hand. And then hand to shin as you exhale. Again, you can take the hand higher up the leg. Try to avoid the knee joint itself, but either hand to thigh or hand to shin. And then just reach the arms away from each other. And take some deep breaths. Good. Let's inhale again. And exhale. Good. Slowly come up to stand here. Relax the arms down. And once again, we're going to square off the feet. So then come back into a wide-legged forward bend. We're going to start with our hands on our hips. Soften the knees. Inhale, lengthen your upper body. As we exhale together and fold forwards, this time we're going to slide the hands down the outsides of our legs. And maybe you'll be able to grab your calves here, which is really good. So you can use that grip to help yourself fold forwards. Maybe the hands will slide a bit closer towards the ankles. So just find what works for you. Keep a slight bend in the knees so that you're not overdoing it in the backs of the legs. And then just breathe here as deeply as you can. Let's take another inhale together. And exhale. And then really bend the knees here. Bring your hands back up to the hips. And as you breathe in, come all the way up to stand in one way or another. Bring your feet back together. Good. Again, if you need to shake your legs out, absolutely fine. Good. Okay, so we're going to try to come into, we're going to have a go at balance. So something that's really, you do this in most yoga classes, a really nice classic balance. So we're going to start by standing on the the left foot. So the left leg's nice and strong. And then we're going to bend the right knee. And your first option is to bring the foot to the inside of the left calf. So if that feels kind of right for you, then stay here. It's absolutely fine. We're coming into tree pose here. So we're trying to keep a nice kind of steady, stable standing leg and then maintain balance. So if you feel a bit more comfortable and you have a bit more range, you can lift that foot and place it on your inner thigh. But if that just feels like it's too much or you feel really, really wobbly, then bring the foot lower. And then once you've found your balance, fix your gaze on a steady point. Keep your gaze relaxed. And then we'll just bring our hands together in front of the chest. And lift your chest towards your thumbs so you feel like you're lifting out of your lower body. And as you keep the gaze steady, just try a handful of breaths here, just breathing calmly, using the balance to help you feel more relaxed. Just try another breath here and exhale. Good. Bring that foot back to the floor and let's try the second side. So shift your weight into your right foot, engage your right leg. And then as you bend your left knee, bring the foot to the inside of the calf. Again, you can take the foot higher if you want to, but if that just makes things too complicated, then keep the foot low. First of all, we want to balance, she says. So again, find your balance, fix your gaze, and then when you're ready to do so, bring your palms together and then lift your chest towards your thumbs. And breathe here. And just try to breathe in and out through the nose as calmly and as evenly as you can. Just doing what you can here is fine. Inhaling and exhaling, good. And we're going to bring that foot back to the floor, relax the arms down, good. Shake out the legs if you need to. And then we'll make our way back towards the front of the mat, good. Okay, so from here, we'll bring our feet as close together as we can. And then just a big inhale as you reach your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, fold forwards over your thighs, bring your hands down. Again, you can hold the fronts of the ankles, shins, or hands to floor. Then palms on the shins and lengthen forwards as you breathe in. And then now as you exhale, we're going to step back into downward facing dog, one leg at a time, just a brief downward dog. Just a nice stretch through the back of the body, lifting those hips up. And then when you're ready, just come forwards and bring your knees to the floor underneath your hips. And we're going to bend the elbows and come and lie down onto your front. And we're just going to do a couple of back bends here. So we're going to relax the arms alongside us. These are really nice accessible back bends. You'll feel like you're really strengthening the back of your body and you're opening your shoulders, chest and the front of the legs. So rest the forehead down. Draw your belly button in towards your spine so you feel that you've engaged your core. And then keeping that, lift your head and your shoulders as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, raise your legs. So it's not a huge kind of range of movement posture, this one, not at all. But like I said, it's really good for strengthening the back of the body, really good for the spine. Feel the shoulders draw back. Keep the backs of the hands resting gently on the floor. We're just going to breathe in together here. And then as you exhale, slowly come down and turn your head to one side for a moment. And just take a brief pause. And then when you're ready, bring your forehead back to the floor. We're going to do exactly the same thing once again. So belly button draws in. Inhale, lift the upper body. Exhale, raise the legs. And then just hold this here for a few breaths. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher this time. No matter, doesn't matter if you don't. Good. Take another inhale. And as we exhale, slowly come all the way down. And again, turn your head and just take a moment to pause. Relax your feet. Maybe sway your hips from side to side just to relax your lower back. Good. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders. And we're just going to press up onto all fours. And bring your seat to your heels and take a slow and gentle forward bend here in Child's Pose. So just a moment or so, just taking the stretch out of your back. And then we'll come all the way up to sit here. And just really briefly, straighten your legs out in front of you. So we're going to do a little bit of kind of preparation work for our hips, and then we're going to do a really nice hold in a posture called Pigeon, which you may well have already done before with Dave at some stage or another. So I'm going to stack my right ankle just above the left knee. And then lean your hands back, lean into your hands, and place your left foot flat on the floor. So as your right knee moves forwards or away from you, what you should feel here is quite a good stretch at the back of your right hip. And this is really good if you have maybe long periods in your day where you're quite active, walking about, doing this, that, and the other at work. You may find that your lower back and your hips get really, really tight. So this is a good way of helping to keep back pain at bay. This is a really great stretch. Try another couple of breaths here and exhale. And then we're just going to release the legs, stretch them out, and we'll just literally change sides. So nice and easy. Left ankle to right knee, lean back into your hands, slide your right foot so it's flat down on the floor, and then just gently press your left knee away from you. And you may not need to move that left leg very far to feel the stretch. Good, and just breathe deeply. This side will feel different. Take an inhale and exhale, good. And then release the legs out in front of you. And we're going to make our way back onto all fours. And we're going to make our way into Pigeon Pose. So we're going to take the right knee and we're going to bring it forwards so it goes behind the right hand at the front of your mat. And your right knee is really, really wide, pretty much on the outside edge of your mat. And then with your left leg, just going to stretch it backwards as far as you can. So what you'll feel here is that your hips are pretty much in the center of the pose. So just take a moment here. And if for any of you, maybe this doesn't feel good in the knee, you can go back to the ankle to knee pose we just did, so at least you're still stretching your hips. And then from here, let's breathe in. As we exhale, we'll walk the arms forwards and drop down onto the elbows. And you're going to feel an increase in that stretch in the hip. And that might feel like it's about enough. So maybe you're going to stay here, and you're going to take some deep breaths and try to relax. Or you can walk the hands further forwards if that's appropriate, and bring your head towards the floor, maybe resting your head on the backs of your hands. So there's lots of different ways you can make this as comfortable for yourself as possible. But wherever you are, whatever stage you're working at, just try to relax your upper body, your shoulders. If you're tensing your jaw without realizing, try to relax. And then as you breathe in and out through the nose, use that breathing to help your hips relax a little bit more. I'm just going to take one more breath together here and exhale, good. And then we're going to slowly make our way back up. And to exit the pose, tuck your left toes under and just bring that left knee in slightly towards you so that you can slide the right leg back and then just shake that right leg out. Bring the right knee back to the floor and we'll come into the second side. So we're just going to slide the left knee forwards and we're going to take the knee behind the left hand and it goes way out to the edge of the mat and then just slide the right leg back. Good, and then try to relax through the hips as much as you can. And again, take the previous posture. If this is not good for you on this side, lift your heart as you inhale. And then as you exhale, folding forwards, coming down onto your elbows. And then just see how this side feels. And if you want to stay here, that's absolutely fine. It's really good. Maybe walk the arms a bit further forwards. Maybe take the elbows wider so that you can fold forwards a bit deeper. So just really finding a nice comfortable challenge to your hips, but not feeling like you're kind of pushing yourself too far. And at the same time, not holding back either. So just relaxing with the breathing. We'll just take another cycle of breath here and we'll exhale. And then just carefully starting to make your way back out of the pose. We'll tuck the back foot under, the right foot. We'll slide the knee in and then reach that left leg back. Give it a shake here. And you can either stay on all fours or if you want one last downward facing dog, you can lift your hips and just press back for a couple of deep breaths. Good. And then one way or another, if you'd like to find your way to sit down on the floor. Good. And we're going to come into some seated postures now. So we're going to have the legs, we're going to keep the left leg as it is, and we're going to take the right leg, bend the knee, place the foot on the opposite side of your left knee. So we're going to come into a seated twist here, please excuse me. Take the right hand to the floor behind your back. And with your left arm, reach it up alongside your head. And as you inhale, it's going to really, really lengthen that left side. And then as we exhale, your first option here, which is really good, is to wrap the arm around the right shin. So that as you kind of hug that leg with the arm, you can turn your chest to the right, and you feel a stretch in your hip, you'll feel a twist in your spine, and this might be enough. If you feel like you have a little bit more kind of space in your body, this left elbow, you can slide it to the outside of the right thigh, and then press the arm and the leg against each other, and that will help you twist more to the right. You'll feel the twist go up your back a bit towards your ribs, which is absolutely fine. So this is seated half spiral twist. This is a really old school yoga pose, nice classic. And just breathe into this twist. Twisting is really good for your spine. It helps to keep it flexible and mobile and youthful. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let's come back around to face our legs. Straighten that right leg out and we'll just swap sides, nice and easy. So left foot comes across to the outside of the right knee, left hand to the floor behind you. Extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale, lengthen. And then again as we exhale, first option is just to wrap the arm around the shin and hug the legs so that you can just allow your body to twist a bit further. Or again, if you like to go deeper, and it's completely optional, the elbow drops to the outside of the thigh, and then you press the arm and the leg, and you can really feel you get a lot more movement if you're taking that second stage. But just try to relax through your spine as much as you can, and continuing to breathe. You may need to breathe into the top of your chest here if you're finding that you're restricted, as is often the case in a twist. We'll breathe in and we'll exhale. And then as we come back around to face the front of the mat, reach both of your legs out in front of you. Maybe give the legs a shake. Good. Okay. And then from here, we're just going to bend our knees and we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Now, try to get your heels as close towards your body as you can. Just do what you can. And we're going to do a little bit of preparation for our hips for the posture that's coming straight after this. So you're going to have your left hand on the floor alongside you, and you have your right hand on your right thigh. Slightly lean your body to the left, your upper body, and then as you exhale, just gently press that right thigh towards the floor. So you should feel a really good stretch right from within your hip joint, moving down into the thigh and the inner thigh. And then when you're ready, you can just change sides, leaning to the right, grounding the left leg towards the floor. Good. And then when you're ready, just come to center. We're going to keep our feet where they are. We're going to start with the hands alongside us. So I'm on my fingertips here, so you might find that helps you a little bit. And you're going to press your heels together. And as you do that, you're going to inhale and lift your chest and lengthen the upper body. And then as you exhale, engage your glute muscles and start to move your knees towards the floor. So you can feel probably quite a really big stretch in your hips. And that's exactly what you're after in this posture. And if this feels like it's really helping you get a good stretch, then you don't need to do anything else. If you're comfortable here and if you're very open in your hips, then you can hold your feet with your hands instead. And here as you lift your chest and engage those glutes again, you're trying to kind of turn the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. So it's like you're trying to, as if you were opening a book really. And then just holding this here, this bound angle pose, another really classic old school yoga pose, which is really good for the hips. And particularly for Western practitioners, these kind of stretches really help us keep more mobile in our hips and create more health in our hips and lower backs. Let's take a deep breath in together and exhale. And then you're just going to relax your lower body completely. But we're going to keep the soles of our feet together and we're going to slide our feet forwards. So now we're going to have a diamond shape with our legs. We're going to come into a forward bend. So just be mindful of your lower back. Just go as far as you can. And you can bring your hands to rest on your shins. We're going to just take an inhale here. And then as we exhale, we start to fold forwards from the hips. And as you come into this forward bend, your upper back will naturally round. And it's absolutely fine if you want to emphasize that rounding of the spine. If that helps you stretch your lower back in a better way, that's absolutely fine. And you're just bringing your head towards your insteps and just relaxing the neck and just allowing the hips to relax here as much as you can, breathing calmly. Let's just try one more cycle of breath together here. And we're going to exhale. Then coming back up to sit, take your hands to the outsides of your knees and just manually push your knees back together. And then we'll straighten our legs out in front of us. So we're going to come into one more seated hip opener. So we're going to bend the right leg, place the foot on the inside of the left thigh. So the legs look a little bit like tree pose, the standing balance we did earlier on. So we're going to have the left hand on the floor near us. You take your right hand and you're going to reach to hold your left foot. So you may need to bend your knee to grab the foot, which is absolutely fine. And then as we breathe in, we're going to lengthen the upper body. And then as you exhale, start to fold forwards over your left thigh. And just doing what you can here, bringing your forehead towards either your knee or maybe your shin. Just try to relax through the back of your body. Breathing calmly. If you're quite open here and your left leg, is straight, you might be able to hold your foot with both of your hands and go a bit further forwards. So you have that option if that feels like it's appropriate. Otherwise, as you were is perfect. Good. At the end of this exhale, we're just going to come back up to sit. We're going to straighten the right leg out and go straight to the second side. So as we bend the left leg, the foot comes to the inside of the thigh. You can have the foot a bit lower down if that feels like the knee's not comfortable, or maybe you can have some support if that's what you've got, if that's what you need. And then here, facing your right leg, take your left hand across your foot. Again, bend the knee if you need to. And then just inhale here, and we'll fold forward as we exhale. And then just going as far as you can, keeping that right leg bent if that feels better in your back and your hamstrings. Straightening the leg if that feels good, or maybe holding the foot with both hands as you fold, if that's the right stage for you. So let's just try another breath here and exhale fully. And then we're going to come all the way up to sit, and we're going to straighten the left leg out in front of us. Good. And then from here, we're going to come into what we call full forward head to knee bend. So, 3. Sit down. Sorry about that. You love yoga. So legs are extended. You may need to bend your knees, which is absolutely fine. You're going to reach forwards and grab the big toes with the first 2 fingers and thumb of each hand. And then think about drawing your chest forwards. So as you grip your toes, it feels almost like you're kind of drawing your chest through your shoulders. And then as you exhale, try to keep that length in your spine and start to fold forwards from your hips. Soften the elbows. Bend the knees more if you need to. Maybe straighten the legs up if that feels right for you. So you come into this forward bend, we're just going to enjoy a few cycles of breath here. Try another inhale and exhale. Good. And then as you come back up to sit, you can let go of your feet. And then from here, we're going to lie down onto our backs. So make your way to the floor, please. So I'm just keeping an eye on time. And then just bringing the knees into the chest briefly and just rocking your spine. So you can either rock from side to side, you can circle your knees, or maybe a forwards backward motion is right for you. So just find what works for you to kind of help soothe your lower back. We're going to keep our knees bent, but we're going to bring the soles of our feet to the floor. And we're going to take the right leg and cross it all the way over the left, so that you have the thighs stacked. So it's not ankle to knee, which is a really great pose, but you'll feel a different stretch here. So thigh to thigh. Reach the arms out to the sides so that you're relaxed. And then without using your hands, bring your knees into your chest. Now we want to keep our shoulders on the floor here, so you can just take your hands and hold your thighs. Maybe some of you can hold your shins. Doesn't matter where you hold. As you exhale, you're just going to draw your knees closer towards your chest. So you're going to feel this at the back of your right hip, a little bit into kind of the top of the thigh. And really relax the shoulders as you draw those knees downwards. Good. Try another breath here. And exhale. And then we're just going to release our grip. Bring the feet back to the floor and just go straight into that second side. So as you cross your left thigh over your right thigh, make sure your legs are as close together as possible. Relax the arms, knees to chest, and then just hold where you can hold. And then let's inhale together. And as we exhale, we're going to draw the knees closer towards the chest until you feel that resistance in the hip on the left. And then just use your breathing. If this side feels a bit tighter, then just try to use your breathing to relax your body. Let's try another breath together and exhale. Good. And as you let go of your legs, bring your feet back to the floor briefly. And then we're going to bring our knees into the chest once again. And we're going to take our knees wide. So the knees are as wide apart as you can manage. Then just going to lift the feet so that your ankles sit right over your knees. So this is a posture called Happy Baby Pose. It gets its name because babies are about 5 months, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. They grab their feet and they try to put their feet in their mouths. Don't worry, we won't do that last bit. But we are either going to hold the backs of our legs with our hands, or you can hold your feet if that is available. And then just take a moment to kind of ground your lower back along the floor. So you feel that you're trying to get your lower back as flat as possible. Knees nice and wide. And then when you are ready, let's just pause here and take a deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to carefully draw the knees towards the floor, either side of the upper body. So this is stretching your inner thighs, the backs of your legs and your hamstrings, your inner hips. So just enjoy these few moments here in Happy Baby Pose, breathing calmly. This is your last kind of output of effort in this session today. Deep inhale and exhale, good. And then as you just relax, we're going to bring the feet back down to the floor and then straighten your left leg along the floor. And take your right foot, place the foot on top of the left thigh. We're going to hold the right knee with the left hand. You take the right arm out to the right in line with your shoulder. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your right knee across your body. So you're twisting here. You should feel a really nice twist in your lower back on the right side. It doesn't matter if the knee is away, it's really kind of far away from the floor or not. That's okay. And maybe you can turn your head to look over your right shoulder, trying to relax into this soothing twist. Take one more breath where you are and exhale. Then as you come onto your back, we're just going to straighten the right leg along the floor. Then we're going to change sides. So bring the left foot, place it on the top of the right thigh. Reach the left arm out to the left. And take the right hand across to hold the left knee. And then breathing out, draw that knee across your body. Try to get your left shoulder nice and relaxed on the floor so you have a bit more of a kind of precise twist. And then just relax into this. Maybe turn the head to look over the left shoulder. You can keep it neutral if the neck doesn't feel good. And just nice and easy here, breathing calmly, enjoying this relaxing, soothing twist. Take an inhale and exhale. Good. And then coming onto your back and relaxing that left leg along the floor, we're going to separate our feet a little bit wider. So you're reaching your heels towards the corners of your mat. Bring your arms a little bit closer towards you, palms facing upwards. And we're just going to finish off with about a minute or so of final relaxation. So as you come into this comfortable reclined position, just gently closing your eyes and enjoy these last few moments of your practice, just relaxing into stillness. I'll give you about a minute or so, and then I'll bring you round. Enjoy. Okay, so keeping your eyes closed, let's just start to take some deeper breaths first of all. So as we start to bring our awareness back to the body, you don't want to feel like you're rushing anything. You can start to move your fingers and your toes when you feel ready. And just rolling your head from one side to the second. Just relaxing the neck, releasing tension. And then maybe if you want to, you can reach your arms overhead and just enjoy a full body stretch along the floor. This always feels good after relaxation. And then we'll bring our knees back into the chest one more time. And then when you're ready, just find your way up to sit comfortably. Thank you very much for joining me today. Take care and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.